Man, it's been a while. Let's check out LOR meta tier list in terms of decks. Um, and I think the only person that actually does this is Swim. Um, I'm not gonna be mean. I just think um, he is very. I don't know. I don't like only having one person do all of these because I feel like it's very one sided. I'm gonna put in my I'll put in my comments, but I'm just gonna go down the list pretty quick. We're gonna talk about it because right now we have discard mid range with Draven Scion, very strong. If you can play this deck is almost free win every single game you play it in because it's ridiculous, right? You just play Scion, you win. Basically how it works. The only time you don't win is if you did a lot of stuff wrong or they just have the perfect counter to you exactly when they needed it. So, there's that. Plunder mid-range, the classic GP Sejuani, very strong deck, had a lot of recent innovations like Monster Harpoon that came in that made it even better and fixed a lot of problems I had. Then we have Poke City. And I think this one's pretty funny. It's like a haha giggles. I disagree with this. I don't think this deck is very good. Fight me. I would love to debate it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm right. I don't think that deck is very good. Bandleburn. This one is very much S tier. I think this one's a lot more fun to play at least. It's pretty ridiculous. A lot of quick, easy wins. It's like red aggro Magic the Gathering. But very good. Real elusive. Rally elusive. I'm sorry. Rally elusive is a pretty fun one. It finally adds something to the old elusive spam deck that's been there since the start of the game. I'm not surprised to see a version of it still in the game to this day. There's a lot of differences in it. I think I'm going to make a video talking about it because I still play the classical one. The classical one's just fine. It's just a little bit weaker, and you have to kind of play a more constructed deck. So this one's a pretty good S tier deck. Starfish. Why the fuck is it called Starfish? Why? I know why it's called Starfish, but god damn it. This deck is pretty frustrating to say the least. If this one doesn't get nerfed, I'm gonna be very upset. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this one. This one's pretty broken. Hammer Time is not S tier. It's literally just Poppy. And this is where I it's Poppy and Lulu. Why is he not there? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was just Poppy. No, yeah, no. Okay, that's fair. Poppy Lulu is pretty strong. A lot of people are using Poppy in their decks just because she's just buffs all your small guys, so good value. Now we get into A tier. A tier is less crazy. How they do tiers is kind of mind-numbing because honestly, if I had to make my tier list, S tier is Draven Scion, Gameplank Sedge, and then I would put Bandleburn and then Starfish. And that would be S tier. Those are S tiers. Like real S tiers. Hammer Time, Rally Elusive, Poke City are A tier. Poke City. I'll put Poke City at A. Just be nice. Just because they have too many on S tier. I don't think S tier. There's not this many decks at S tier. I promise you this. I think 4 is plenty at S tier. I would say S tier should be more like 3, but I think there's 4. Actually, I think Plunder mid range is pretty decent, but I think that one's on the squeak of going down to A. Going to A, Curious Prankster, just an annoying deck. That's fine. Pirate Aggro, it's a cheap deck. I would say it's actually B tier. I think he's ranking an A on the wins you get. I think it's actually a B tier deck. Warlord Sivir is a real A tier deck. It's still like almost S tier, honestly. It's up there with Plunder mid range. It's right there from I feel like those two are really close to each other. Bandle Tree Swarm. is fine. I feel like a lot of people play it badly, so I think it's A tier is fine. Swain TF is a new one that hit. I think A tier is being generous. Talia's Thralls, B tier. In my opinion, I don't know why it's here. Aurelia Zir Blades is B tier. This deck is not really hitting like it's used to. Probably because a lot of people aren't even playing with it. Does he have a video with it? Oh, no, okay. It's just like one that goes with it. Okay. This one's fine. Zerath Zillion Control. This one's A tier. This one's absolutely A tier. Darkness Control. A tier. This is an A tier deck. I'm actually going to discuss my differences with this deck next. So check out that video later on. Maybe it's already out. Check it out. Driving Chain Barriers. Okay, now we're okay. Lurkers. Lurkers is a no. It's a B tier deck. Why no? Okay. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real honest with you. There are not this many A tier decks. There's no way there. No, like look. This is how many B tier decks. Yeah, that's pretty much how many A tier decks there should be. S tier decks. This is so misleading. All these decks are not on the same footing. There's actually a bigger difference. There's a curve that Swim is putting on there because he doesn't want to have C, D. There are very awful decks. There are very bad decks. They are just gimmicky and not good, but they're fun to play. That's totally fine. You just have to be honest. Some of these decks only work in specific scenarios. He's grading them on those specific scenarios. Hey, if you play against this deck, it's A tier. Yeah, no shit. What? Yes, of course it's going to be good in this scenario. Overall, a lot of these decks are B, C tier. And a lot of these S tier decks are not that good. So that's my opinion. If I had to be honest with Mobalytics, I would say half of the S tier decks are actually that good, and you should check those out. But honestly, Mobalytics LOR section, I'm kind of like, I'm not trying to diss Swim, but I'm like, we should get more creators in here, in my opinion, debate it a little bit. That's all. Peace.